Different sports, I got it. But the great Rudy Tomjanovich said back in '95, never underestimate the heart of a champion. We saw that last night in the 8th inning with the Astros, and we definitely saw it in the 8th inning with the Los Angeles Dodgers. You take a live look at Fenway Park as MLB Central coming to you from this beautiful ballpark on this beautiful day, getting you set for Game 5 of the ALCS between the Astros and the Red Sox. Mark DeRosa, Robert Flores, our usual third co-host, Lauren Shahadi, part of the TBS crew, joining us now from Los Angeles, where later tonight it will be the Braves and the Dodgers. Brian Anderson, Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi, and DeRosa's neighbor, Jeff Francoeur.
Thank you. You left him out.
Oh,
my God, I just went down. I just went down.
Oh, you're sinking. You're sinking.
We'll come back up.
All right.
Lucas, get to a one-shot on Lauren.
What'd you do? You broke the chair. Hey, while DeRosa's getting, I think he's straight.
I'm back.
Lauren, we know it's going to be a bullpen game for the Braves today. Give us a sense of what the rotation, what the order is going to look like for Brian Snitker and company.
You know what, Robert? There were questions just going back to last night's game about whether or not Charlie Morton could give them more length. You saw the first inning, and then you saw, I don't know if you could kind of tell, but every subsequent inning he was getting stronger and stronger. Of course, we're not in the dugout. We're not having those conversations. We don't know what that entails, but I would imagine that Minter and Smiley and Ynoa will be ready to go. We talked to Brian Snitker after the game. He did not name a starter yet. He feels like they're going to play the matchups, knowing that Max Fried kind of resets everything. They feel pretty darn good about that. So they're going to use a bullpen game, and they're going to hope for a healthy and strong Max Fried moving forward and then go from there. What do you guys think about Morton in that situation, D-Ro?
Well, Lauren, real quick, I thought he was pitching. I thought he got stronger as he went along. But as he approached 90 pitches, I'm like, well, they're going to take him out soon.
Lauren, I know we're going to talk about Arias. I want to put you on the spot. Are you sitting in the same spot next to the Dodgers dugout?
Yeah, right next to the Dodger dugout.
Take me through the early parts. What was the mood in that Dodgers dugout? Was there panic? Was there guys staying? Give it to me.
First of all, Max Scherzer is always lurking, throwing up a baseball, looking like he's just ready to go into the game, even though he's not ready to go in the game. He's walking back and forth. Max Muncy is always top step, looking sad. Like, I can help this team so much. I'm hating that I'm injured right now. And then there's Albert Pujols on the bench. He's always looking at video. He's always ready to go. It was almost a little bit of, I think, shock, especially with the fans, like that they were going to go. We were getting ready to interview Adam Duvall or Jock Peterson, and the fans were filing out of the stands. And it was a little bit of, whoa, like we're going to go down 3 games to the Braves. And then Cody Bellinger, sure enough, I mean, he's made adjustments, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But Julio Arias, if you're talking about him and what he looks like, he is a cool customer. Nothing phases him.
Yeah, I mean, he's pitched, he's started, he's come out of the bullpen, he's closed World Series, he's closed League Championship Series. So, I mean,
that's usually his bullpen day. Like yesterday for Nate Eovaldi, they're stress pitches. Yeah. But these are days they normally head down to the bullpen and throw. I expect Julio Arias to be really good.
Lauren, I saw your post-game interview with I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I saw your post-game interview with Mookie and Cody Bellinger after the game. Mookie looked more happy for Cody than Cody did. I mean, just what a moment for the Dodgers and for Bellinger specifically.
You're actually spot on that. I think that everyone kind of felt the weight. Look, we know what Cody Bellinger, D-Row always talks about the back of the baseball card. We know what he can do in postseason games. We know the resume, and he's only human, right? I mean, he's wanted to help his team, and it's kind of been a bit of a lost year for Cody Bellinger, that 3-run home run. He said it affected him, but he's made adjustments. He lowered his hands. He hit the ball more square, more flat, got the loop out of his swing. The path to his bat was on plane. And Dave said he's not a tinker by nature. He doesn't tinker with his swing all the time. But when he hit kind of rock bottom, that's the phrase that Dave Roberts said. When he kind of hit that way, he thought, okay, I got to adjust a little bit. And that's exactly what he did. And now we're seeing it's just short to the baseball, lowering the hands, no loop. And it was such a moment. And when I interviewed him post-game, you could just see it was like a weight lifted off. And he's had a couple of moments like that this postseason. And I asked, what is it about postseason Cody Bellinger? He just seems so focused. He's flushed the regular season, and he realizes, man, if I help this team to a World Series win, like, all is forgotten. And D-Ro, you know that. You know that's the case.
I want to know, are you eating right? Are you getting your sleep, hydrating? I mean, you're grinding right now.
No.
I mean, they got craft services there, I'm sure, Lauren. TBS is making billions and billions of dollars.
Are you making bad decisions? Late night burgers?
Yeah, I am. Yes. Oh, I grabbed 4 hot dogs on the way back from the game yesterday.
No, you didn't.
No, I swear. 4. And, well, here was my thought. I was like, B.A., Jeff, Ron. So I get in the car with 4 hot dogs, and I'm like, guys, I have hot dogs. And they're like, no, we're going to Morton's. Like, I'm not eating that.
Exactly.
I'm like,
exactly. Seafood Towers.
There we go.
Seafood Tower.
Much more with Lauren. She's going to actually steer a segment, which is going to be
all right. That'll be interesting.
So stand by, Lauren. We're going to take a quick time out. What? What'd she say? I'm trying to move this along. I got traffic in my ear. And
bye. All right, just worry about time.
All right, stand by. Just everyone calm down. Bye. Relax. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Al Leiter is going to tell you.
Listen to Cher.
The Astros bullpen, what makes that
part of the plate. That ball was supposed to be on the inside corner. But here, let me go to the whole supporting cast here. This is phenomenal.
What is this?
What we are talking. Right? There's 8 relievers. Only one other guy other than Jansen. You got to go in there to Evan Phillips. They're in the 7th inning, who pitched more than an inning. This is really difficult for an opposing hitting coach and team. I don't care how many at-bats they have them. When you constantly keep mixing and matching between left, right, left, right, you go through it, and you got the Army golf with the relievers. Really, really impressive. I wouldn't count on it because you can't assume every single guy is going to be coming in and being nails as they were last night, and boy, did they need it after the short start from Buehler. But here, this is what I'm saying here. If you look at the bottom line, the 21% of his slider. I couldn't think more about watching Kenley Jansen last night and sprinkling in a slower breaking ball. When you're a guy that has had success as he came up in the big leagues in 2010. He's got 350 big league saves. He has been moneyed at the latter part of this season, almost perfect. But he's a cutter guy, guys, right? It was cutter, 4-seam high fastball, and then he'll try to sink some. Now he's throwing this slider, and that is not an accident. Realizing that if your velocity is not the same, he drops in a big breaking ball. It really gets the hitters now thinking it's not just going to be that 93 to 96 mile-an-hour cutter, whether it's going to stay on the inside part of the plate to the righty or cut away, as we've seen so often. And I really wanted to use the same example because when Mariano Rivera got a little older, he started throwing a little changeup. He started throwing a 2-seamer. Everybody in the world knew when they were facing Mariano Rivera, they were going to get a hard cutter away on the righty and on the lefty. And watching Jansen now dropping in the slower breaking ball, it calls a slider, a little slurvy break to it, but it's a lot slower than his cutter, and that is just enough. You're talking about 2 out of 10, right? As a reliever, you're only throwing 12, 14, 20 pitches, and it's enough to get the hitters to start thinking other than the cutter. And you saw there he blew 3 guys away with high fastballs.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Kenley Jansen has been phenomenal. When I look at that pitching box score, can I give some love to my ex-teammate Mark Pryor, the pitching coach out there? He has these guys on lockdown, and obviously Dave Roberts wanted to get his steps in.
Yeah.
He got
He
was like us walking around Beantown yesterday.
Logged a lot of steps to that pitching mound. No Blake
keep that up there if you would. D-Row, the one that I was curious, Corey Knebel, who's done a heck of a job, right? He comes in, gets an out, has a little bit of trouble and some ducks on the pond, and brings in Phil Bickford. You have a fastball, big curveball, very impressive. Corey Knebel's been. Similar fastballs, I think a little bit more of an uptick. And then here comes a guy to follow him up. Similar stuff with a shorter breaking ball. Did get out of it. But, again, we don't know.
There's where
the players.
There's where, Al, you dive in on the numbers, right? Because Corey Knebel, like you said, 4-seam hook. Bickford, 4-seam slider. Adam Duvall had actually booked him his one previous at bat. But they see something in the numbers and the shape of that breaking ball. Maybe they think Duvall handles the actual curve better than the slider.
Julio Urias gets the start for the Dodgers. It's a bullpen game for the Braves. Who do we see first? you think?
Husker and Noah.
Okay. All right, so be on the lookout.
It could be Minter. Nays is in my ear going Minter. It could be Smiley.
Right.
I mean, is he an option?
We should find out at some point, maybe this afternoon before.
Minter looked good yesterday, too.
Minter did look very good. All right, time for a quick timeout here on MLB Central. When we come back, we do know Chris Sale is going to get the start for the Boston Red Sox.